Hi, and good evening to all you beautiful subscribers out there, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for still subscribing to the channel. It means so much to me that you're still here following me on my journey to freedom in my truck, which is still ongoing. I hope you had a fantastic day, and I'd appreciate it even more if you just smash that subscribe button and jump in. Come on, jump in, get some comments, let's get some remarks, let's get some talking. I'd love it even more if you just hit that subscribe button and like it, whatever, and just build my numbers up. That'd be even great. That'd be awesome. That'd be absolutely fantastic. It really would. But I hope you had a fantastic day today, whatever you were doing. No doubt you were working. I was sleeping and I had absolutely fantastic sleep as well. I managed to get back early enough because I had a Purfleet and Allington run last night, and I got back in plenty of time. I think I clocked off about 9:45, so yeah, it was 12 and 3/4 hours. But obviously we don't get paid 45 minutes because they take our breaks off us, so it's really a 12-hour shift, which is that's the norm for me. And tonight all I'm doing is I'm taking an empty down to Allington to pick a load up that one of the drivers couldn't complete because he's still stuck at Sainsbury's in Hoddesdon, who are an absolute pain in the arse. They really are. During the pandemic, if you've ever been to Sainsbury's Hoddesdon, and during the pandemic, you was allowed to stay in your cab. You could stay in your cab, and you was isolated. And now all of a sudden they stick you in this poxy driver's restroom, which is about as big as this cab. Literally, it is just horrendous, and they've got metal chairs. There's just no comfort there whatsoever. And I was actually speaking to one of the drivers outside the front, and we were talking about drivers' restrooms, how things have changed now. We've gone away from the isolation of drivers in cabs, and they have to stay in restrooms, especially if you get to places like Tesco. Asda's all right. You stay in the cab. Some of Sainsbury's, you can stay in the cab unless you get to Hoddesdon. You can stay in the cab. Sainsbury's Stoke's fine, because I love going to Sainsbury's Stoke. You sleep for hours there, just disconnect the unit. I don't mind going to any place, any third party place or delivery, RDC or CDC. I don't mind going to any of these places and disconnect the cab, and I'd stay in the cab. I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy to do that, and I think 99.9% of drivers out there would be happy to do that as well, instead of going into some stinky, smelly restroom where you're always located next to the toilets that absolutely reek. I'm sure they'd appreciate just staying in the cabs by themselves. Put the night heater on, especially in the winter time. Lovely and warm, nice and cozy. You can get your head down for a few hours. So yeah, it's all changed. They've changed it all now, and now they even get people walking out along the line of trucks that are on the bays to see if the drivers are sleeping on the beds, which I think is just absolute rubbish. And they have the goal, especially night shift drivers as well, because during the graveyard shift hours, you're absolutely knackered, especially if you're driving for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours during a shift. It does get tiring. It does get quite fatigued. You do get quite fatigued. You don't want some idiot banging on the bloody window while you're trying to get your head down for an hour. And that does help. It really does help. Even it does for me anyway. Even if I get half an hour, 45 minutes sleep, I feel really refreshed when I get up, and then I can carry on driving the other 3.5 or 4 hours that I've got to do. So yeah, give us a break. we don't get a break much, so just give us a break. If we want to get us head down for a bit, let's get us head down for a bit. Not too bothered about day walkers, because obviously it's daytime, and it's very difficult to sleep during the day, especially when you haven't got curtains. And I sleep during the day anyway. I've got blackout curtains, so I'm happy with that. So I've got my grandson tomorrow. I've taken the night off. This is my fourth night, and I'm off tomorrow night. I'm not working tomorrow night because I've got my grandson to look after while my daughter. I've got to take my daughter to the dental hospital. She's going to get some treatment, and then I'm going to look after my grandson. I'm taking on for a long walk, depending how long my daughter's appointment is, and we'll find somewhere to go. If the canteen will get something to eat or something, I don't know, but I'm looking after him whilst my daughter is getting treatment. And then on the Friday, because I'm obviously not working Thursday night. On Friday, I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to bring him up to where I live. There's a children's soft play area called Crashbang Wallop. I'm not going to take him to Wibbly Wobbly. I'm going to take him to Crashbang Wallop. Something different. Hopefully, it's not bombarded with it shouldn't be anyway, because the kids are still at school, so it should be pretty empty that early in the morning, hopefully, fingers crossed. So yes, that's going to be me and my grandson bonding, spending some quality time together, which is what I miss more than anything, because this job swallows all my time up. And like a lot of drivers, thousands and thousands of drivers out there, this job just takes up all our time, and it all gets managed by this bloody thing up here, the tacho. And whether or not you're in a job that pays well, you don't have to do the hours, but obviously if it doesn't pay that well, then you've got to push out the hours to make, to live, to survive. But I'm actually quite fortunate, because it's not bad. It's not bad pay. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad. So I do 5 night shifts at the moment. It is gradually getting a bit too much, because I'm a year older, not a year wiser. Otherwise I'd have gone down to 4 shifts by now. But I'm thinking about it. I'm still contemplating with it. I'm still toying with it. I'm still battling with my wife about it. But at the moment, I cannot afford to go down to 4 nights. Not just yet. We're not comfortable enough yet. And at the end of the day, it's all about money. Money is the be all and end all of everything. They always say that money can't buy you happiness, but it bloody helps. It really does. Tomorrow is the 10th of October, which is Mental Health Awareness Day. I'm not sure how long it has been running, and it is a very dear subject to my heart, because my father, as I've said in previous videos, he suffered really, really bad with mental health. Back in 1988 was when my father died, or when he committed suicide. Mental health back then is not the same as what it is now for treatment wise. Nowadays it's a massive thing. Mental health, or any kind of mental health issue, is huge, especially when it affects the workplace and the work environment. And I didn't know that it is the 5th reason why people take time off work is through mental health issues. 15% of the workforce suffer with some kind of mental health issue. Now, obviously, mental health can be brought on by a lot of things: anxiety, depression, a sickness, an illness, a bereavement, family issues, the job, stress, pressure. That there's a multitude of things that can bring on some kind of mental health issue, and the only way that we can combat it, or combat any kind of mental health illness, is by talking. I feel that talking brings out a lot of people's characteristics, brings out a lot of fears, a lot of doubts. Talking can iron out a lot of problems. It really can. And also making a workplace more enjoyable, and making the wellness within the workplace more enjoyable. Not putting too much pressure on your workforce reduces the risk of mental health as well. So, and it can happen in all walks of life. It's not just through work. It can happen at home. Either way, it is a massive issue at the moment, and it has been for a few years. But at the moment, it's getting worse and worse every year. And I do not know what the problem is. I don't know whether it's been brought on by social media. I don't know whether it's been brought on by the media. I don't know. Society. I really don't know. A multitude of everything else. But it does seem to be snowballing out of control, really, because the figures are getting higher and higher every year. So something out there is not right in the water. It's really not. I did suffer with PTSD because I witnessed the death of a motorist with my eyes. It was in front of me, and it did affect me for quite a while, and the only way that I could get through it was by talking to my wife about it. Yeah, I broke down a couple of times. I really did. It affected me that much, and talking to my wife about it, it really helped. And sometimes when it happened on the A5, if you know the A5 from Tamworth to Lichfield, it happened along that stretch of road. So if I'm going down south, I am trying to avoid that stretch of road as best I can, because I do sometimes get flashbacks. It happens. That's why they used to associate PTSD with soldiers fighting on the front line, but it's not. It isn't. It just doesn't affect soldiers. It can affect anybody at all that's witnessed some kind of traumatic event in their life. So the point I'm trying to get across here is, if you know anybody that is dealing with some kind of mental illness, then please be kind, be loving, especially if it's a family member. Be loving towards them. If it's a friend, then please visit them, talk to them, go around, take them out for a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or something like that. Keep them engaged. It is good to talk. It's great to get things off your chest, go through the Samaritans and stuff like that. Point them in the right direction. If you know somebody that's suffering with mental health, do not let them suffer in silence. Please don't. It's just not worth it for them, and for you neither. So please do your part, do your bit. That's all I'll say. I'm going to try and find an empty trailer, and then I'm off down to Allington. So please support Mental Health Day as best you can. Really, it's a fantastic cause. It really is, and I just wish something would have been there for my father to use. It might have stopped him from taking his own life. It might not have. I don't know. So thanks for listening, guys. I'm not going to be shooting a video tomorrow night. I'm going to do some bloody work on my online business. I'm going to finally get some things done. I really am. I will see you for my first shift on Sunday. So like, subscribe, please leave me a comment, and like I say, I'll see you for my first shift on Sunday. Cheers, guys. Have a great weekend.